welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel, brought to you by Red Heart Yarns. In this video, I will show you how to make the chic and strong Crescent shawl. This is a beautiful crocheted shawl designed by my friend Ron Strong using my brand new yarn, Red Heart Chic Sheep by Marley Bird. This yarn comes in 24 wonderful colors, and as long as you pick 2 colors that you love, you are sure to end up with a shawl that you will love as well. Now, this particular shawl pattern is free and available over on redheart.com. I'll put a link to the shawl pattern and the materials needed in the video description box right down there below this video. While you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button to let people know you enjoyed this video or you enjoyed this shawl. Go ahead and get your free pattern, gather your materials, join me back here, and I'll help you get started on this really great shawl pattern. I know many of you are like me and you love making crocheted shawls, and I can't wait to show you how to make this one. It starts off right down here at the center back of the shawl, so it would be where it lays back on your neck. And we start off with some foundation double crochet. Once we get past the foundation double crochet, we work simple stitches and increase out here on the wingspan until we get the width and length we want. Then you move on and you make this really great border using this beautiful scallop stitch. And Ron chose one color to make the scallops, but you could do it in several different colors and get a completely different look. So here at the beginning, we're going to start down here in the center back with our foundation double crochets. Foundation double crochets are not a super difficult thing to do, and it's really great to learn. Now, if you've never done them before, I'm going to suggest that you do grab a removable stitch marker, because I will show you how to use the stitch marker to allow you to see what stitch you're going to be making the next stitch for the foundation double crochets in. It'll make sense here in just a second. Let's start off by putting a slip knot directly onto your hook. Once you get the slip knot on your hook, go ahead and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you yarn over your hook, go back into the 3rd chain from the hook, and insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. This loop right here that we just pulled up is going to represent our chain stitch that we are going to create the double crochet upon. So we will yarn over our hook and draw through 1 loop. Take a second, grab the stitch marker I told you to grab, and stick that stitch marker right there into that stitch. Now complete your double crochet as normal. Now you will yarn over your hook, go into that marked stitch. So I have that stitch marked, right? I'm going to go into it and I'm making sure I'm working through both legs. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, draw through 1, move my stitch marker up to that next stitch that I just went through with the 1. Yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over your hook, go into that stitch that's marked. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 1, move your stitch marker up, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over your hook, go into the marked stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 1, move your marker up, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now you'll notice in the notes section of the pattern, Ron states that the initial chain 3 of any row does not count as a stitch. That holds true here with the foundation double crochet. As I take a look at what we've already completed, this initial chain 3 we did does not count as a stitch. So I'm only going to count the actual foundation double crochets I've completed. So I've completed 4 foundation double crochets. And in the pattern, I need to do 18. So let's go ahead and get the 18 foundation double crochets completed. Once you've completed your 18 foundation double crochet, you can go ahead and remove that marker. Now we'll turn our work and we'll move on to row 1. Row 1 has us begin with a chain 3. Remember, this chain 3 does not count as a stitch. Now we will go ahead, yarn over our hook, and into this first stitch right there, we want to put 3 half double crochets. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Now we'll do a half double crochet in each double crochet across. So yarn over our hook, go into the next stitch and work a half double. And then you move on to the next and you work another half double. We'll do this all the way down the row. In the last stitch of the row, we will put 3 half double crochets, but we will also be changing colors in the third one. So I will go ahead and work 2 full half double crochets. And in the third one, when I go in and pull up a loop, instead of yarning over with my old color, I want to change to my second color. So I will just grab my second color here, yarn over with it, and pull that through. Now I have my second color ready to go. Now the way Ron made this shawl, he does not want you to cut the yarn every 2 rows. He said that it's okay to carry up the color along the side of the shawl. You can then go back at the end of the project and do single crochets down the side of the shawl to hide those floats if you want, but it's not entirely necessary. It's totally up to you. If you do decide that you want to cut your yarn every 2 rows, you can absolutely do that, but I'm giving you permission right now to not do that and just carry your yarn up. For this, I'm just going to go ahead and carry it up as written in the pattern. So I will carry on working row 2. So I need to turn my work and I will chain 3 stitches using my new color. I'm just going to let my old color hang out there and just completely ignore it. Now I will go ahead and work 3 half double crochets into this first stitch. Remember, my initial chain 3 does not count as a stitch. Once I've placed those 3 half double crochets in the first half double, I will do a half double all the way across until I get to this last half double where I will do 3 half doubles into that one. So let's go ahead and see how this is done. Once again, I've done my 3 half doubles, so all I need to do is a half double into each stitch all the way to the very last stitch of this row. This time I am not changing colors. I am keeping the next row into the same color. So when I get to the last stitch, I do want to put 3 half double crochets in that stitch, all in the same color without changing. One of the great things about changing colors every 2 rows is you will know when it's time to change colors again, because you will be back on the side where your color is hanging out waiting for you. So you never really have to question if it's a color change row or not, because you'll know as soon as you get to the side where the other color is there waiting for you to change to, you'll know it's time to change colors. So here I am, and remember, I'm not counting that chain 3 as a stitch. Okay, so I don't want to work into my chain 3, but I do want to put 3 half double crochets in my last half double. Now I can move on to row 3, which has me turn my work, and it's a repeat of row 2. Only this time, when I get to the end of row 2, my other color will be down there waiting for me. So let's go ahead and start off with my 3 half double crochets right here at the start, and then I'll put half doubles all the way down. I'm to my last half double crochet section here, and remember, this is where I want to put 3 half doubles. So I will do the first 2 as normal, but on the third one I want to change colors on the second draw through. So instead of yarning over with the color I've been working with, I will drop the color I've been working with, pick up my old color that's down here waiting for me, and I will just float it up here to the top, yarn over with my new color, and pull through. I do want to make sure that I am not pulling that new color so tight that it makes this fabric cinch up. You want to make sure that the float is nice and just even with the fabric, okay? And that completes my row 3. Now row 4 and 5 is just a repeat of row 2, but now it's using my new color. Actually, the whole rest of the shawl is a repeat of row 2, just changing colors every 2 rows. You'll continue doing this until you get through row 37 and you have 166 half double crochets. Once you've reached that point, it's time for the edging. See, I told you this shawl was simple. Go ahead, work on the body of the shawl, and then let's do the edging. How's it going? Do you have 166 half double crochets? I know I'm nearly there, and I figure I will go ahead and talk you through the edging once you reach 166 half double crochets, and then I'm going to show you how to do the edging on a small little swatch versus doing the edging on this actual shawl, so that way you can get through this video a little bit quicker, okay? So first things first, let me just set this down here so you can take a look. As you get done with your shawl, obviously I have another dark blue row to get going on here, but the first couple rows of your edging actually has you do a row of single crochet, then a row of double crochet. Once you do those 2 rows, then you start building the really great scallop edge of the edging. So let's bring this one in here so you can take a look. This is where you get these really great looks. So right down here, there's 1 row of single crochet and then 1 row of double crochet, and then it starts this really great edging. So if you look at your pattern, you'll notice that on the last page, there is an actual crochet chart made up. So what we're going to do is we are going to work up a sample based on the number of stitches that are in that chart. All you'll have to do is when you finish your shawl is repeat the sections from the, you'll do the beginning, repeat the sections through the body, and then do the end. It'll make this video a lot faster for you. And I'm also going to change colors as I'm working through the edgings. That way you can see what the stitches look like as I'm working them. So let me do that now. If you're looking at your chart, what I have right here is a finished row 2 of the chart, and we're getting ready to work into row 3. And I am going to switch colors as I work into row 3 so that way you can better see the stitches I'm making, but you don't have to do that if you want to follow along and make your edging the complete solid color, okay? I'm getting ready to begin row 3 on the chart, so I will turn my work and I begin by chaining 4. I can tell on the chart that I will be working into that 3rd chain that I just did, so I'm going to mark it just so that I know where that chain stitch is. Same thing that I did down here. I know that this chain 3 is going to count as a stitch, so I've gone ahead and I've marked that stitch from the previous row. Now I know I'm going to do a 2 double crochet cluster in the 2nd double crochet right here, not in this first one, but in this one. And to do that, I yarned over my hook, went into the stitch, and pulled up a loop. Yarned over and pulled up a loop. I yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over my hook, go into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. Now I yarn over, draw through all 3 loops on my hook. I'll do a single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 4, skip 2 double crochet, and do a single crochet in the next double crochet. Now I will do another 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, then I chain 4, and I will do another 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 4, skip 2 double crochet, single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, chain 2, And this is where the repeat is. So if you're working on your shawl, instead of just a little sample like this, you will want to repeat from star. So go ahead and take a look at the written instructions. You can see where this is where we will begin our repeat. So we will put another 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch over, a single crochet in the next stitch, chain 4, skip 2 double crochet, single crochet in the next stitch, and then we do a 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, chain 4, 2 double crochet cluster in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 4, skip 2 double crochet, single in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochet cluster in the following stitch, chain 2. That's the end of my second repeat. Because I'm following the chart, I only have one more repeat. If you're working on your shawl, you have many more repeats. So continue on down until you get to the last stitch of your shawl, and that's where you will do a double crochet in the very last stitch. And if you've used a marker, you know exactly where that last stitch is, okay? I'm completing my last 2 double crochet cluster. I finish with the chain 1, and I will put a double crochet in this last stitch, this marked stitch right there. I will place a double crochet. Now I'm ready to begin row 4 of my chart. Again, I will change colors, that way you can better see what I'm doing, but you don't have to do that. You can keep continuing on with just one color. Let me go ahead and turn my work, and beginning row 4, we start with a chain 1, and that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. You will then single crochet into that first double crochet. Now, here's where we'll begin our repeat, okay? You ready? So we will go ahead and we will chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll single crochet in the next chain 4 space. In that whole space. We don't want to do anything else, just put it in that single space. Now, everything we're going to do next is going to go into this large chain 4 space right here. So what you'll notice in the written instructions, it says to chain 1 and then do a double crochet in that chain 4 space. Chain 1, double crochet in that chain 4 space. Chain 1, double crochet in that chain 4 space. Chain 1, double crochet in the same space. Chain 1, double crochet in the same space. Chain 1, double crochet in the same space. We should have 6 double crochets total, which I do, and that has completed 1 shell, okay? So this 1 shell has been made in this chain 4 space. I continue on by doing a chain 1. I will then single crochet in the next chain 4 space. So I'll single crochet right over there. And then I will chain 4. And I will single crochet in this chain 2 space. That's the end of my repeat. So I go back to the start of my repeat and begin again. So I will begin by working a chain 4, putting a single crochet into that chain 4 space. Now I'm going to create a shell into this chain 4 space. So I chain 1, double crochet into that chain 4 space, chain 1, double crochet, and I'll do this until I have a total of 6 double crochets in that space. Oops, I forgot to do a chain 1 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a shell completed. I will go ahead, I will chain 1, place a single crochet in this next chain 4 space, and then I will chain 4, put a single crochet in this chain 2 space, and then I'm back to my repeat. So I chain 4, do a single crochet in that chain 4 space, chain 1, double crochet in the chain 4, chain 1, double crochet in the same chain 4, and do this until I get 6 double crochets. Again, this repeat that I'm working on is a total of 3, but your shawl will have many more, so you just work across until you get to the end of your shawl. Once you've completed that shell, you do a chain 1. I will single crochet in this chain 4 space, and as you get to the end of your shawl, we're going to end here a little bit differently in that we are going to then chain 4, and we will do a single crochet into this marked stitch. Remember when I had you mark the 3rd chain of those initial 4 chains? You want to go ahead and do a single crochet into that marked stitch right there. Okay, so by doing that, that finishes off your shawl just the way you started it. So we did a single chain 4, we ended with a single chain 4. So as I set this down, this is obviously a lot smaller, but this is exactly what you are looking at so far. Now we've completed row 4, let's move on to row 5. Again, I will change colors so you can better see how the stitches look. Okay, with row 5, we have a lot of 2 double crochet clusters going on. So here we go. Let's turn our work. And we will start off with a chain 4. 2, 3, 4. Once again, I can tell just by looking at my chart that I will be placing a stitch into the 3rd chain of this chain 4 when I get to row 6. So I'm going to mark that stitch right now, just so I know exactly where it is. I'm just putting it in that 3rd chain. And now I will go ahead and do a 2 double crochet cluster into this very first single crochet. You're going to be very familiar with this 2 double crochet cluster on this row. Once you've done that 2 double crochet cluster, you will do a single crochet into this chain 4 space. Now you will chain 2 and then do a 2 double crochet cluster into this double crochet, and then you will do one in each one of those double crochets around that shell. Okay, so we've chained 2 and we will do a double crochet cluster, a 2 double crochet cluster, I guess that's what it's called. All right, now we'll chain 2 and we'll do a 2 double crochet cluster in the next double crochet. Oops. Chain 2. Now let's go ahead and repeat that in the next double crochet. So I'll do a 2 double crochet cluster in the next one. Don't forget the chain 2 in between. And then do it into each double crochet around the shell. Okay? Chain 2. When you get to the end, when all of those double crochets are used up, you will then chain 2, single crochet in this next chain 4 space. Then you will do a 2 double crochet cluster into this single crochet right here. Okay, so we're going to do a 2 double crochet cluster into this single crochet, and then we will chain 2 and we'll do another 2 double crochet cluster into this same single crochet. Okay, so all of that is going into this single crochet. Can you see that? A 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster. That's the end of the repeat, okay? So now we would go back to where the star is and we will repeat all the way across the row. So for that, we will do a single crochet into this chain 4 space. And then we go ahead and chain 2, and we will do our 2 double crochet cluster into this next double crochet. And then we will chain 2 and then do a 2 double crochet cluster all the way around this shell once again, okay? So let's do our 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and then a 2 double crochet cluster in the next double crochet. And I will repeat this all the way around this shell that we completed on the previous row. Don't forget your chain 2s in between. Once you finish all of the 2 double crochet clusters around the shell, don't forget to do a chain 2, single crochet in this chain 4 space. And now we will put the 2 double crochet clusters into that single crochet, chain 2, and then the other 2 double crochet cluster into that same single crochet. That's the end of my second repeat. Remember, I'm working on one that's smaller than the actual shawl, so you will continue doing that repeat all the way to the very end. And so that's where I am right now. Now that I have done all of those 2 double crochet clusters around the shell, I can go ahead and I will chain 2. I will work a single crochet into this chain 4 space. It's the last chain 4 space. And now into the very last single crochet, okay? Into that single crochet, I want to do a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 1, and then a double crochet into that same single crochet. Okay, all of that is how you finish up the row. So as I set down my work here, you can see that it's really, let's see, make sure I'm in camera. It's really starting to get really, really nice. And obviously it's way more colorful than the original, but it's starting to look really good. Now there's only 2 more rows, so let's go ahead and jump in. Again, I will change colors so you can better see how the stitches look. All right, row 6, let's turn our work, and I've gone back to the sweet color, which is the blue. And in this one, we're doing a lot of double crochets, okay? So we will begin with a chain 1, and we will single crochet in this first stitch. So we will single crochet in that very first stitch, okay? Once I've completed that, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. That means I'm going to skip this 2 double crochet cluster. I'm going to skip this single crochet. I'm going to come all the way over here to this space and put 2 double crochets right there. So there's 1 and there is 2. Now I will put 3 double crochets in the next 5 chain 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the next chain 2 spaces, 5 of those, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. You ready? So I will yarn over my hook and then go into this chain 2 space and put 3 double crochets there. Now I come to the next chain 2 space and I put 3 double crochets there. Come to the next chain 2 space and do the same thing. I will do this until I have done the 3 double crochets into 5 2 chain spaces. I now do 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. I will single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and that's the one right here between my 2 double crochet clusters. So I will single crochet right there, okay? And then this is where I will do my repeat. So if you're following along and you are working on your shawl, this is where you will work your repeat. So what I would do here is I would go ahead and I will put 2 double crochets in this next chain 2 space, meaning I'm going to skip this double crochet cluster. I'm going to skip this single crochet. I'm going to come all the way over here and I will put 2 double crochets. And now, working into each one of those chain 2 spaces around the shell, I will put 3 double crochets into each one. Now that I've done that, I will put 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. Then I will put a single crochet into this chain 2 space. Now this is my repeat again. So over here into this chain 2 space, I will put 2 double crochets. And I will work my double crochets all the way around my shell there one more time. And when I get to the opposite side, I will put my 2 double crochets right there into that space. And then I will do a single crochet in the top of that turning chain. So let's get to that point now. Put my 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space, and then I'll come all the way over here to that marked stitch and I'll put my single crochet into that marked stitch. If I set this down, this is what we're looking like so far. Make sure I'm in camera, And it's so super pretty. This final row is a series of 2 double crochet clusters, and it's really what ties the whole thing together. So let's go ahead and learn the final row, and then you'll fasten off, weave in your ends, and you will be done. For row 7, we go ahead and we will turn our work, and we begin with a chain 1. Once we've done that chain 1, we will place a single crochet in our very first stitch. This is where our repeat will begin, okay? We will do a single crochet, a chain 4, and 2 double crochet cluster in the next double crochet. So let's go ahead and do a single crochet, chain 4, and then do a 2 double crochet cluster into that same stitch. All right, so all of that went into that one stitch right there. Now you'll see that it says skip 2 double crochet, and we will do all that again into the next double crochet. So we skip 2, put a single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 4, and then do a 2 double crochet cluster in that same stitch. Then we're going to repeat this a total of 5 times, okay? So that was 1. So we skip 2, and then we will put all of that into this next stitch. So we did a single, chain 4, and then the 2 double crochet cluster. All of that into that one stitch. Now I skip 2, do a single crochet, chain 4, and then work the 2 double crochet cluster into that same stitch. Skip 2, single crochet in the next, chain 4, 2 double crochet cluster in the next. Skip 2, single crochet in the next, chain 4, and then 2 double crochet cluster in that same stitch. Let's count how many we have here. Okay, so this was our first single crochet. This was our first single crochet, chain 4, 2 double crochet cluster into that stitch. And then this next section we had to repeat 5 times. So we skipped 2, and then we did the single, chain 4, 2 double crochet cluster. So that was 1, skip 2, and then there's all of that into 1, so that's 2. Skip 2, all of that into 1, so that's 3. Skip 2, all of that into 1, so that's 4. skip 2, all of that into 1, so that's 5. That's 5 times. Now you are supposed to skip 2 double crochet, single crochet in the next double crochet, skip the next single crochet, and then repeat. Woo, here we go. So the repeat is to do that single crochet, chain 4, 2 double crochet cluster in the next double. So I'm going to the next double. I did my single, chain 4, and then do my 2 double crochet cluster into that same stitch that I did my single. Now here comes my repeat. This is what I will do 5 times. I skip 2, and then I will put the single, chain 4, and then the 2 double crochet cluster into that same single. So that's 1. I need to do that 4 more times. Once you've done that a total of 5 times, you will then skip 2 double crochet, skip 2 single crochet in the next one, skip the single crochet, and then repeat. So here we go. We will skip that and we will start our repeat. So this is where I only have 3 repeats. So if you're working on the shawl, you obviously will continue on doing this until you get to the end of the shawl. And once you do that, let me get there and I can show you what you need to do. Once you've completed your 5 repeats, I will then skip 2 double crochets, single crochet in the next one, and then to finish it all off, I will single crochet in the very last single crochet and then fasten it off just simply by doing a chain 1, snip your yarn, give that a nice pull, and there you go. You have a very nice finished edge right there. Look how cute and delicate and beautiful that edging is. I don't know about you, but as I look at this little swatch that I worked up in all the different colors, it sure does look really pretty, and I could absolutely see this attached to the actual body of the shawl. I think it is so pretty. It would totally make it very spring-like, don't you think? Let's take a look at the actual sample compared to the swatch that I just did so you can see the difference between the solid color and the multicolor right here. Let's make sure both are in camera. And so obviously the solid one right here, this is done in Mai Tai and this is on the original. And then in the multicolor, all I did was just change colors at the end of the row just so you could better see what was going on as we were working those stitches. But that's all you would have to do is just change colors if that's something you're interested in doing. I absolutely love this shawl with a little simple construction and a very nice and hardy yet delicate trim. You get such a beautiful piece. Again, this is designed by my friend Ron Strong, and I think he did a beautiful job, and it is so comfortable and squishy, and it uses the Marley Bird Chic Sheep yarn, and it's available in 24 different colors from redheart.com. So hopefully you will find 2 or more colors that speak to you, and you will make this really great shawl pattern, which is also free. I hope you enjoyed this video and you will run out, get some yarn, grab this pattern, and make this for yourself. If you feel like I went a little bit fast on the border instructions, just take your time. Use the written instructions along with the chart and this video, and you will have success. No problem at all. Just take your time as you're working through the first section here. And then as you work your repeats around your shawl, you'll have no problem. And then you'll get down there to the end and just finish off the way it's supposed to be. And you will have a successful and beautiful shawl. I'm Marley Bird, proud spokesperson for Red Heart Yarn, and this is the Chic and Strong Crescent Shawl. Make sure you hit subscribe and smash that like button so that way you are informed whenever there's a new video released right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Thanks so much. Bye. Everything you need to know about knitting or crochet can be found right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Learn with Marley Bird. Visit youtube.com/Marley Bird.